it's Nancy with Nancy's Nibbles of Life, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new around here, again, welcome. My name is Nancy, and I'm on the WW Personal Points program, and I also count calories. So welcome to the channel. I have such an awesome update for you guys today. I cannot wait to share what I've been up to in my weight loss journey. Are you ready to get into it? Let's go. Okay, so, it's been about 7 weeks since I have started my journey on counting calories along with points. And quite a few things have happened in those few weeks. I have to say, I've gotten definitely more active. I have started to enjoy more foods than I wasn't eating before, just because maybe the point factor was too high and I didn't want to include them in my daily intake. But, I wanted to tell you guys more about that. Again, I have been doing it for about 7 weeks consistently. So I'll say that because there are weeks, unfortunately, where, you may have dinner out with your friends. You might have, it is summer, right? So you're doing a lot of things like barbecues and picnics and days at the fair, whatever, vacations. So you may not be perfect every day. But I would say 7 weeks consistently where I have watched my calorie intake and I have been what my app calls in the zone, meaning I haven't gone over or I haven't gone under. I am just in the zone. So that's really good. I have, of course, been enjoying more foods since I have been counting calories, and it has been quite a revelation for me. I'll give you an example. Bread is something that, I enjoy, but I'm always looking for, of course, a low carb option or a lower calorie option. And there's some good breads out there in that, field where it's lower carbs or lower calories. But there is nothing like full fat bread, I have been enjoying brioche. I have also recently discovered this milk bread from Trader Joe's. Oh, it's so good. Only 130 calories for this roll. I like to have it in the morning, and I'll show you here. I make it with egg salad sometimes. It's so good. So bread is something that is kind of new to my diet because I hadn't been really enjoying it, like I said, due to the points. There's definitely a little bit more of a freedom when you are counting calories versus points, I learned. For example, I gave this example the last time. I love those Yasso bars. They are 100 calories, but 5 points. So, 5 points when you get only maybe 22 or 23 points out of the day is kind of a sacrifice. You have to really navigate that, right? But 100 calories when you can get up to 13 or 1400 a day, you could work that in there, right? So things like cheese also, who doesn't love cheese, right? I love cheese. But, again, that's an item that I have always been on the hunt for, a low carb, a fat-free, low calorie cheese. But, when you're counting calories, you have the option to go full fat, and, you just have to ensure you get the right quantity. An ounce of a cheese. I've been really enjoying this Trader Joe's Gruyere and cheddar cheese mix. It's so delicious. I recently had a little fruit and cheese board. I'll put a picture of it here. I found a fig tree in the area that we live in. So I snagged a couple of them and made this little fruit and cheese platter. And it was just a little snack, but those cheese squares were filling and only 100 calories, And so even a half ounce of cheese, 50 calories, but it's the full fat cheese. So I have really been enjoying, new freedoms in my food choices and discovering new things. I have been using Fitbit to track. I wear this thing every day, and I have been learning the amount of activity I need in order to, see how many calories I can have for a day. So, I talked about this for a little bit as well. Some days I'll get those 10,000 steps and some days I don't. But whatever activity I get, the Fitbit app shows you how many more calories you can eat to stay in the zone. So, very much like the Weight Watchers app, you enter the food and it tells you, how many points you have for today. And it also calculates the Fit points. But, again, there is just something about the ability to say, okay, I have 1,300 calories today because, maybe I've walked 6,000 steps, whatever the case is. And then you get to plan accordingly. I'll talk a little bit more about that. Something that I discovered using the app that you could add food in Fitbit versus WW. I'll give you a little bit more about that. But, in tracking the food in Fitbit, I've found that it is, a motivator because you move a lot more because, you can get more food into your day if you move. So I've had instances where, it's 5 o'clock and, speaking of something like those Yasso bars, and I want to have one, it's summer. I want to have an ice cream at the end of the day. And I don't have enough calories to do that. I see that I'm running short on my calorie count. I'll go take another walk, in order to be in the zone so that I can afford the calories for that walk. So, using the Fitbit app to watch my calories and gauge my fitness, again, it's a big motivator, but it has really, really upped my fitness. So, again, it just makes you want to keep moving. So back to what I was saying before, I've noticed one thing is that when you can track on a daily basis and get your calories on a daily basis and indulge right there on that day, it's, it works better for me. On the WW app, I was doing a lot of saving my Fit points for the weekend so that I can indulge, And you know what would happen? I would either eat too much and, just kind of stall my weight loss, or during the week I might feel deprived because I was saving those points for the weekend and just would end up eating too much and, or eating the wrong foods. You could rack up quite a few Fit points using the WW app. And so if you are, on a normal daily 23 point a day, kind of diet, and then all of a sudden you can get 40 points in a day because you've saved up all those Fit points. Let me tell you, no good decision making is going into that day, especially if you use all of those 40 points and you intend to, because I always did, right? I wanted every bit of the points that I had saved up to use over the weekend. But what happens is that my cravings would get stronger over the course of the next few days because I indulged so much on that one day that it would make it harder for me to resist those chips or something sweet or another glass of wine at dinner because I had, overindulged so much and just my resolve kind of faded, So when you can eat according to how many calories you've earned in a day on a daily basis, you can have a little bit of whatever you want. It just feels to me like there's more accountability in the day rather than saving up to overindulge. Because if you overindulge, the cycle just kind of repeats itself, right? You feel bad, your resolve is not as strong as it was, then you have to get back motivated to do the right thing. And it keeps stalling your weight loss. And honestly, I think that's just, for me, I don't know if that happens with you personally, but that has certainly happened to me where it just seemed like it was a never ending rat race. I could never get on top. But, it's just, I think because I wasn't setting myself up correctly. But, again, in the daily caloric intake versus output, it's a better manageable program for me. So I wanted to show you that big difference of, the cycle of overeating on the weekends because I've saved up points versus eating on a daily tally. Let's see. Okay, so for the weight that I've lost, again, I said that I have tracked maybe consistently for 7 weeks. I have lost 6 pounds. So, just almost a pound a week. That's really good. Again, for not being perfect. And, even if you don't think 6 pounds is a whole lot, I'll tell you what, I didn't lose anything for the last, several months on WW. Nothing on WW Personal Points. So 6 pounds, I'm happy about that. I'm happy to see the scale moving in the right direction. I can feel it in my clothes. I can feel it in my face. Also, I have to tell you about the activity thing. They say a body in motion is a body that doesn't quit, or I'll write it here, whatever that saying is. But, it gets easier. The activity thing gets easier. So, I look forward to my walks, knowing that I'm taking care of myself and knowing that I'm working towards a goal. And, I think that, of course, along with watching my calories, has really helped me out. And believe me, I'm not a big exercise person, right? But I do enjoy walking, so, and I can walk, right? So I may not be able to run, but I can certainly walk. And so I think that has really been helpful to not only my physical well-being, but my mental well-being as well. Knowing that I could take those quiet walks, listen to my music, listen to my audiobook. It really has helped my outlook. I have to say that. Okay, so again, one thing I have discovered, I will have to say, I was just talking about not losing a lot of weight on WW Personal Points in the last few months that I was tracking there. But, you could be perfect and still not lose weight, right? Every day you could be in the zone in the tracking of the app for Fitbit that I'm using. And at the end of that week, still not lose any weight. So that has not changed, right? And I'm sure several factors play into that, right? Maybe too much salt in your diet, whatever the case may be, so don't feel bad if you have weeks where you're not losing, if you decide to, count calories. Again, that was an eye-opening thing to me to learn that, okay, so I was perfect this week, and there were many weeks I was perfect on WW Personal Points, and I was looking for that scale to move, and it would not. So that has not changed, but of course the key is not giving up. It really is like putting a little money in your savings account every time you get paid. It may be a little, but it makes a difference. It'll keep growing. And so you keep investing in your diet and your activity, and it'll pay off. You'll see. Because this past week, for example, when I got to that 6-pound weight loss, it was kind of like a big number all at once. There were these little small incremental numbers, and then bam, like 2 pounds once. So, just keep investing, just keep going. I watched recently Finding Dory, and I have to say, just keep swimming, because it eventually does pay off. I can tell you that. So now, I know that I haven't talked a lot about WW. I have been double tracking, but not as consistent as I was at first because, it's kind of a pain, I have to say, to do both. But, I still use the WW app because there's no community like WW. Fitbit, I have been, again, using it to track my foods and to see how many calories that I can intake for the day. But that community is nothing like the community in WW. They are fitness heads, a lot of them. I'm not a fitness gal. And it's just a different vibe, But the WW community is really great. So I still love checking in on Connect. And I still love posting on the Connect app. Another great thing is that WW has awesome recipes. Their recipes are clear and easy to understand. Tons of ideas. If you don't get an idea for a recipe directly from WW on the app, a lot of times members will post their own recipes on Connect, so you could get a lot of ideas for recipes there. Definitely new food finds, because WW has all of these various pages that you could go to, and one of them is food finds, and you could find new things and new items to the grocery store. So it's nothing like the WW community. You know, you just can't beat that. And then also, of course, the wellness aspect for WW. Lots of great, information about your, mental well-being in losing weight, because it is a mental game. We could reduce our calories, we could certainly be active, but you have to be in a healthy frame of mind in order to stick to your goals, right? And so again, WW just does such a great job on their app in those aspects. So, I really do enjoy continuing on for those features. But, counting calories has been working for me. I've been moving in the right direction, and I am so excited about that. I have a goal to lose 16 more pounds in the Fitbit app. That's a lot, right? And I was thinking maybe I should adjust that goal and do smaller chunks, so that I don't get discouraged. Because if it's taken me this week this much to lose the 6 pounds, and again, you could be perfect every week and not lose. I don't want to get discouraged, so I may change that goal. But I can't wait till I lose my first 10 in this kind of refreshed way that I'm tracking and counting my calories and trying to lose a little weight. And so I can't wait to bring you my next update on that. So again, I have really been enjoying it. So, when I posted this video the last time to say that I had been switching over from exclusively using WW points to calories, a lot of you were already doing that, and so that's good to hear. And I want to know how your journey is going. Happy to bring you updates on mine, but let me know what your thoughts about them, about the calories versus points, and what you think about those food revelations, for example, that I bring you. Are there some that you have been enjoying more so now that you are, counting calories, maybe in addition to points? I'd love to hear from you. But 6 pounds! I'm so excited. I can't wait to give you guys the next update. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and leave me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. I'm sure that I'll have more information as we move along. And of course, again, I'm sticking close to the WW app as well and the features of the WW program, because they change it quite a bit. So who knows what it'll look like over the next course of the next few months. Okay, again, that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you on the next video. Take care, guys.